lot of people. Did I tell you about that student, Michael? He watched your lesson video and he got so inspired that he wants to also,
Dang.
learn to play the piano. So you reach a lot of people, Cody.
Oh my gosh, a
Even
lot of
you
people.
don't even know, right?
What the heck?
Okay. All
No.
right. So what does it sound like? Do you know? Have you
Oh wow.
um have you heard a recording of it?
Oh yeah. I did it.
You did? Okay. Well,
I did it.
let's hear what you can do.
Wow. Ooh, that's it. Ooh, that's it.
Good job. Well done. All right. Well, that is the very first role playing of this piece. We have never worked on it, right? I
Woohoo.
mentioned the name of the piece and I want you to just listen to it so you have an idea, right, of what the piece sounds like and
Wow.
what it's about. But we've never worked on it, and you have, of course, never had a lesson on it. So you did this all on your own from just purely listening, right, to something, a recording played by somebody. So the structure, right, the
Ooh.
outline is all there.
Wow.
You're extremely good, right? At
So good.
being able to play basically the outline of the piece. So
Wow.
our job, right, is to refine,
Really
okay?
fun.
Is to be able to play, more effortlessly, right? And even more accurately, right? You're already pretty accurate. It's amazing how accurate it already is. Nobody can play that accurately after only listening to a piece, right? And not being able to actually see the score. So
Let's
nobody can
go.
do that. You're the only one, right? So it is already highly accurate. Some passages, right, involve a lot of fast notes, right? So we need to figure out a better fingering solution so you don't get stuck, right? Because those fast notes, if you don't use the right number, then the finger runs out, right? And it doesn't continue right smoothly. So we'll do that. And then the left hand, right, is your very typical waltz pattern, right? So you have a low note followed by chords, right? Sometimes you know the note exactly, but you might not always play the correct octave.
Wow.
So we'll sort that out too. So this is a very good piece for us to think about warming up, right? Playing a piece like this, your fingers need to be already quite warmed up, right? Because there are a lot of fast passages. So of course, the best way to warm up, right, is the good old scale, right? So I when I first moved to the United States many years ago, right, I was researching different exam options and testing opportunities for students. So one of them was, of course, the very well-known Piano Guild, right? That it is still around. It offers very comprehensive opportunities for students of all levels. So one of the requirement, right, for the student who wants to participate in that program is whatever piece you play, okay, you should be able to play the scale that goes with that piece.
Wow. Dang.
Well, that's very logical, isn't it? So if you think about most exam boards, they just assign a set number of keys for a particular level. So it's just all random, right? Like for level 7, whatever, you just have to do G major, D flat major, F sharp major, A major. They just assign some random number of keys.
Wow.
And everybody who does that level have to be able to play those keys. You know that. You did the level 10 for the RCM,
What the
right?
heck?
So it was kind of just like a random set of keys selected by somebody, right? But the Piano Guild, I think what they require is actually more logical. In other words, you should be able to always play the scales and arpeggios of the piece that you're working on.
Wow.
Because why? Well, that will help you to play the piece.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the ultimate reason why we're doing scales and arpeggios anyways, right? Is to help us play our pieces easier. So this piece, what do you think it is in? What is the key?
The key.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
You played it, right? Do you think it's in C major?
That was C major, huh? Oh my gosh. And that was C sharp major.
Well,
That was C
you're
major.
kind of right, right? Well, because you haven't seen the score, right? How would you know? So you're right. It's absolutely not C major because how many black notes did we play, right? A gazillion. So you call it C sharp major. Well, it could have been, right? Written in C sharp major. Now, what's another way to call C sharp? So this is the C sharp note, right? Rather than calling that particular note C sharp, we could also call it what? You got it.
What the heck?
I heard you say D flat. You're right, right? So Chopin wrote this piece in D flat major,
D flat major.
but the inharmonic is C sharp, right? Major.
Wow.
But if he was to write it in C sharp major, guess what? Nobody would want to play it. Because if he wrote it in C sharp major, then he would have to draw 7 sharps in the key signature, right? And then students would look at it and go, I don't want to play that. Because nobody wants to see C sharp, 7 sharps, right? So maybe for that reason, he decided to write it in D flat major. It's a little bit more accessible, right? Than C sharp major. Okay, so let's play this D flat major scale. So that's a good warm up, right?
Good.
Then it allows allows you to know what finger to turn, right, on the fourth finger. I mean, what note to turn on the fourth finger. And that is crucial. When you were playing the fast passages, a lot of times you just didn't turn to B flat on the fourth finger, right? So B flat is fourth finger in the right hand. Right, that will be the finger solution for the left hand, for the right hand. And then left hand, the fourth finger plays G flat. Right? So knowing exactly what finger to use. Okay, so show me the D flat major scale to warm up. Go. Thank you. Right? So think about that as a warm-up exercise, right? Before you play your piece, is to think of the key of the piece and then the patterns that go with that key. So another way to practice scale is called in thirds, right? So the right hand plays F and the left hand still plays the D flat. So they are in thirds.
Ooh, nice.
It's a little harder, isn't it? Because the two hands are so close to each other, they're almost in each other's way. So let's do a little slower so we can be a little bit more precise. And if you listen to each interval, it's gorgeous, right? Every interval is a major third. It is a very beautiful harmony, right?
Ooh. Wow.
Oh, see, your right hand fingering got messed up, right? So because we're doing it in thirds, right? The top note doesn't have to be thumb, right? Because we're done, so the top note becomes 4. But you can use thumb if you want, right? And then the fourth finger match. So when the right hand does the fourth finger on B flat, the left hand does the fourth finger on G flat. There you go. Okay, so when we try something and realize it's not as easy as we thought, right? And we didn't play it as well as we would like, we must immediately do it slower. Okay, we slow down the tempo and we get it right. Okay, so you did that, so it was already much better, wasn't it?
That's good, huh?
Okay, so then another way to practice is to swap the notes around. So now the right hand plays the D flat and the left hand plays F. So now that's called scale in 6. Right? So this interval is a 6. It's pretty tricky. Your turn.
Nice. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, now in the lesson, I introduced the ideas to you, right? The ways that you can practice. Of course, after the lesson, you can do more, right, on your own to refine, right, the actual execution. Okay, what else can we do? It's called scales in octaves, right? So your turn. Well done, right? So these are all really useful, right? Because octave is something that we play all the time, right? So being able to find the octave very easily and quickly and effortlessly is important. Now remember, try not to stretch your long fingers out, right? So the thumb and pinky, right, are the ones we use to play. So the middle fingers, we don't want to have them fan out, right? Like, sticks. We want to keep them curved in, okay? Curved in and very relaxed, okay? All right, what else do we know? Chromatic scale, right? So chromatic scale is this business, right? Okay, well, you did chromatic scale before, right? When you did the exam. But you see, we haven't done it in a while, right? We worked on other things. So now we come back to these things, and sometimes we forget, right? Or we're not as good as we used to be. So that's okay, right? We are now aware of it, so we work on it, right? So what did I say earlier? If it's not 100%, right, or as good as we would like it to be, we go slower until we figure it out. There you go. Okay, so precision, right, is important. Accuracy is important. Togetherness is important. Speed is the last thing. Okay, never go for speed and sacrifice all those other things, right? Those other things are the most important. And of course, touch and tone, right? Speed is the last thing you should worry about, right? Speed will come if you just do more times, but do it more times well, okay? If you think about everything else and you do them well, then speed is going to come by itself, right? But if you try to chase speed, right? If that is your only goal and you're just chasing after how fast you can do something, you're not thinking about all these other things, then you will fall apart, okay? All right, so what else do we know? Broken chord, right? You can use the thumb. So we are playing 4 notes. Yes. And then you can do the solid version, right? Which is actually pretty hard because you have to find all the notes at once, right? All 8 notes. That one I missed.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you. I will say today your sound is amazing.
Wow.
Right? Your setup today is perfect, right? Your sound is crystal clear. Okay, what else do we know? Arpeggios, right? That's it, and then we do the inversion, right? So now, see, so we started on F, right? So I didn't do that so good. I better practice it. And the first thing I do is I go slower, so I get it right. Yes, it's quite a workout, isn't it, right? And to keep up with it takes a tremendous amount of time. All right, well, you see, now that is not even the last thing that is possible, right? There's a whole bunch of other technical patterns that I can think of, right? Starting on, of course, the D flat, right? Using the key of D flat major. But I think that's sufficient for now, so we can get to our piece. Okay.
Wow.
So this piece goes round and round and round, right? These sets of notes, right? So basically we have 4 notes, right? So those 4 notes go round and round and round, right? Exactly. So this piece has many nicknames. I've heard of the nickname minute waltz, right? Supposedly somebody could play in a minute, which is crazy, right? But that's one of the nickname. Another one is the puppy waltz. So it's like a puppy chasing its tail, going round and round and round, right? Anyway, but it is very, very pretty, right? So we have a little trill, right, in the beginning. The trill longer, right? And definitely pedal. And notice you just weren't pedaling enough, right? Pedal, right? So, and then. Now something different. So it's very, very pretty, right? Well, so let's work on 4 measure phrases, right? So the first 4 measure, right, starts with the trill. Okay, your turn. Okay, well, it's already better, right? It was already better because you're smart, right? You heard what I did and you already were better than earlier. Now, shape it, right? Because otherwise it becomes very boring to repeat those notes. So what does shaping mean? Right? Now, you might want to try finger 5, right? 5, I think 4, 3 is a little bit awkward, right? So try 5 on the high C, if that's easier. Okay, and then when the Latin comes, I would like you to pedal like this. Yes, but only connect the first 2 beats. Pedal off, pedal off, pedal off. Exactly, but play these lighter. Okay, these are not important. Okay. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3 are not important. Okay. Okay. So after you go round and round and round, you eventually have to do the scale. So you go all the way to B flat, right? But it's not a there's no missing, of course, right? But essentially, it is the D flat major scale. Right? Remember, we practiced the D flat major. So the 4th finger is the B flat note. Okay, if you get 4th finger on the B flat note, you're gonna be yes. So that's such an important note because finally we get a break, right? Because we're so busy, right? It's so much work. Then you can get a break, right? Now I'm trying out to see 4 or 5, right? Yeah. Right. So trying 4 and then trying 5, right? Okay. Now once you get to this note, relax. And because this is a long note, this particular measure, I pedal the whole measure. Now listen to this ornament. Yes, right. So it's hard to do because of the yes. So what I do is I do 4, 3, and then I do 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Yeah. Wow. Exactly. If I change finger 4, 3, and 2, 3, 2, then the note is likely to come out. If I use the same number, it will get stuck. So. Yeah. So long note. one is different. Do you hear the second one? So the second one goes. The second one is easier because you don't repeat the E flat. So that one is easier to do. Exactly. And you gotta end up with 5 here. 5. Open. Yes, so you don't run out, right? And then an interesting thing to realize is the chords, right? The chords were 3 note, right? 3 note, 3 note, 3 note, 3 note. And then that's still 3 note, 3 note, but becomes 2 note only here. Okay? So 3 note, and then it becomes 2 note. Only 2, right? Only 2 here. Okay? And then it repeats itself. Right? And then something different. Right? Becomes chromatic. Okay? So let's put this whole first section together.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, that's it. Ooh.
Okay, now this A flat, you're too low. Listen, this is the end of this section. A flat is here, and then it goes there. So you were doing this A flat too low. Okay? No, it was low first, and then it wasn't. You see? You got it. Okay. Now the beginning. You have to be careful that you're not doing too many, right? Or not enough, right? See, sometimes it goes da da. Sometimes it goes da da da. Watch your turn, right? Good. That's better. Okay, good enough. That's right. Let's work on the next section because all of this will come back anyway. So this part is a little bit more sad, right? Only the beginning, right? Happy again. And look, that's just all scale, isn't it? So if you practice your scale, this will be super easy to do, right? And go away on the pedal. Go away. Right? Go away. When I say go away, he didn't write anything on the third beat, right? So usually there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because of the beat, right? So the third beat is rest. And then you repeat this section. Now I'll play just the left hand again. You just have to know exactly which measure has 3 note chords. Okay, so that's a chord, and then 2 note chords. Sometimes it's only 2. Oh, make sure you're not doing 3. 2, yep, and then 3 again, right? And 2 here, right? And then also 2 here, and then 3 there, and then 2 followed by 3. Yeah, no, it's not the same. It's only 2 at first and then 3. And then this one has 3. and then yeah, we're gonna bring out the bottom note, right? So it's like a little chromatic scale. Da, da. Well, not chromatic. Scale of some sort. Good. And then 3 here, 3 there, and 2 there.
Wow.
So this is my favorite part, right? It's just beautiful. Especially this part. That's my favorite part of the piece, right?
Wow.
use the scale fingering. So turn to 4 on B flat. Good. No. E flat here. Oh, there's no third beat. So, right, third beat. Oh, this one, after you do the high F, you can do 3, 2, 1. So don't use 4. 3, 2, 1, and then 4 is the B flat again. Remember, I kept saying 4 is B flat in this key. And then you, of course, will repeat that section. Okay, but to save time, let's move on. And then the next section, right, is the middle section. So typically in the middle section, he would make it more lyrical, right, or change of character at least, right? So now he says it's more sostenuto.
Sostenuto.
You know what sostenuto is?
What? Sostenuto.
It's a fancy word, right? Yeah. Sostenuto is Italian, right? So it means sustained.
Sustained.
Right? So sustained means very long legato.
Very long legato.
Now earlier, it wasn't that sustained because remember we were pedaling lightly. So it wasn't all legato. Right? Definitely breaks. Right? Our right hand was very legato, of course. The right hand was very legato, right? Oh, and then of course, after that, you have a new start here, right? But it's very legato again, right? But the overall result wasn't all that legato because of the left hand, right? Anyway, so now he says, let's be very sostenuto. So you are going to pedal, right? Smoothly, right? So no little breaks. So you just wait until change of harmony. Then you will change the pedal, of course. Becomes a little bit lighter, but still pretty sostenuto, right? That's the end of the section. And then you have a super ginormous long trill, right? And then you have a grand return, okay? All right. So let's work on this sostenuto section.
Wow. What is it? Ooh. Oh, we're missing a left hand note there, right? There's a low A flat. This section can have more rubato, of course, right? It's more expressive. Yeah.
No, wrong note there. It's D flat, right? I mean, sorry, A flat, right? Oh, let's do the Kodi rhythm better. not so loud, right? And it's just C major chord, right? So gentle with this chord. This can be somewhat loud, but not a chord, right?
Wow.
No, C natural. So C. And then we're gonna do this cute grace note.
Wow.
Okay, let me play the right hand for you. Okay,
Wow.
so the right hand goes like this. Single note, and then it's a grace note. It's not together. It sounds like together when I play both hands, but we're not. Right? We're actually doing the pinky followed by thumb. Right? Ta-dum, ba-dum, right?
Wow. Wow.
Use the pinky. It's too hard to use another finger, so use the pinky on the high A flat. So 5 3 2 1 5 3 and then 2 1. Thank you. Yeah, that will be the right finger.
Wow.
No, the last one doesn't have it. So the ta-dum thing is over, right? So no more. Back to C. Okay. Let me play this part for you. Okay. So, now if you can do a couple more notes, right, on the trio. Yes. Okay. I know it's hard to do, right? But that's what we're gonna do. Your turn.
Wow. Nice.
Breathe. Very nice.
Wow.
Good. Oh, D flat. We missed the D flat there. Oh, there's no left hand there, so nothing. That's so special, right? That's like the first measure where there's no note on the first beat.
Yeah.
So the waltz pattern is supposed to have a low note, right? 1, 2, 3. But this one is missing a note. Yes. Good job.
Wow.
Good job. Oh, A flat. A flat. Okay, so you heard how grand that last note was, right? That low note, I mean, not last note, right? Now I think you were missing a couple notes though in the right hand. Let's listen to the trio, right? 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Right? And then because it's so grand, right? It will stay for a long time. We were doing off, but now stay there. And then back to normal. Take
Wow.
the string, your turn, go.
Ooh, that's it.
Cody, I did not see you to a fourth finger on the B flat. That's pretty important, right? In this scale, it has to be 4, right? Yeah, no, 4. Yeah, 5 does not make any sense, right? Right? If you were to play the full scale, so 2 and 4 is the
Wow.
most logical. Remember that one you need to repeat the E flat. Listen. Yes. Oh, that one is easier. That one you don't repeat. Exactly. See, that one's easy. Oh, but you have wrong left hand. Got it. Oh, did you do 4?
Again.
Thank you. Oh, remember that one's different. That one is the transition, right? Okay, so what I do is this. I do 4th finger on the D flat. Try to do. No. Don't slide.
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, and then just have your hand and then start the scale on C, on pinky. No, do the scale on pinky. So get pinky onto the C. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? But I don't need you to connect from this D flat to this C. You can pick up your hand because we can keep the pedal there, right? Yes. Oh, there's no third beat. No third beat. Yes. Good. Oh, remember the finger is 3, 2, 1, right? So you can play on this note, but 3, 2, 1, and then 4 is the B flat again. Good. Good job. G flat. A flat. Oh, E flat. No. Oh. 3, 2, 1. Remember? 3, 2, 1, turn to 4 on B flat. Same as before. Here. Something like that. Now, let me play the scale for you. So you can play the top note with any finger you want, right? 4 is fine, 5 is fine, doesn't matter. But then 3, 2, 1, right? Listen first. Listen first. So that's it. There's no A flat. We did an extra A flat there. Stops on B flat. That's it. No A flat. So the scale stops on B flat, right? That's it. That's the last note of the scale, and then it goes. So there was no A flat. You understand, okay? Now the left hand goes. Yes, but don't play that so loud. Remember, the chord is on 6 B,
Yeah.
and then and then the last chord is here. It's pretty high. Yes. So it's actually in the way of the right hand because the right hand is playing D flat, but the left hand has to play this one. But the good news is you can let go of the right hand, so it doesn't get in the way. Yeah, you can lift the right hand as high as you want. Yes, and there are many ways to end this piece, right? You can play it very loud here, and then becoming softer. That's one way to play it. Or you could go, right? You can end it loud, right? So it's really up to you. Want to get the right chord. Yes. So the way I think of it is like, is the puppy falling asleep or is the puppy waking up?
Wow.
And then I've even heard people do the top note, right, very quietly, and it's quite magical, isn't? Right. So quietly, right? And then the crescendo. Right? So that's quite nice too, right? Yes. Well, if you want to do the big crescendo, right, then it makes sense to play that final chord really loud, right? I hope I don't. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, good job, right? That's the idea. And then the part with the triplet, right? You just want to make the triplet as seamless as possible. The triplet part almost sounds like an ornament, right? I think that's my favorite ending. Favorite way to end, I mean, right? You try. Too low. You can pedal more here, Kodi, right? And shape the left hand. Three, two, one. Yes, right? But you don't have to, right? I like it like that, but you don't have to do it that way. But remember, I still want you to really get used to a good scale fingering. 3, 2, 1. Okay? You're not using 3, 2, 1 on these three notes. Good job. There's this very famous pianist, Daniel Barenboim, played this piece. I watched this a long time ago. I think it was him, and I think I'm sure it was him. But anyway, it was in like an outdoor stadium.
Outdoor stadium.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an indoor concert. It was like an outdoor, like a big whatever sports stadium, right, somewhere. So imagine, right, being outdoors.
Outdoors.
I think, right, they had some kind of a sound system. Otherwise, it would be just so lost. But because it was outdoors, right, and the stadium is filled with people, right,
What the
to make
heck?
the ending, right, as grand as you could possibly make it, right? Do you know what he did?
Whoa.
He, I think that's what he did. Anyway, he didn't do just one note like Chopin wrote, right? So right, there was only one note, but he did like an octave, right? So he did this D flat plus that D flat, right? So it becomes like right. So it becomes a grand octave at the end. Yes. Right?
Wow.
And I think he did that because that particular concert was outdoor, right? Normally we would not do these kind of things, right? Normally we would not add an octave to the note if the composer didn't write it. It would normally be considered not a good idea, especially in the same situation. But since this was a fun type of outdoor concert, right? He did that, and I thought that was very genius.
Wow,
Just
genius.
shows, right, that music is not black and white, right?
Wow.
Music is flexible. Okay,
Genius.
and you can, right, have a little bit of your personal touch to it.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's great, right? So we've learned this piece and you can more or less play it. Now, those fast notes, right, in order to sound very, very good, right,
Very good.
you have to practice them slow, right? Even though it sounds so nice, right, fast, if we don't practice them slow, they get stuck. Right? And they don't sound so good, right?
So good.
Now that you understand, right, how everything works, when you practice, right, you have to be very patient and practice like this.
That's good.
Got distracted. Right? Show me just this first section without even going into that the minor part,
Wow.
but just see if you can be so flawless. Okay.
Wow. Nice. I said, ooh.
Okay. Okay, you see my point, right? So if we have a glitch, oh, I missed this flat, right? I played D flat instead. Then I gotta fix it. I go back, right, and go slower, right? So since I could not play it flawlessly or as flawlessly as possible, I need to go slower. This note.
Wow, nice. Ooh.
Kodi, could you do 5-2-1 for this chord?
Yeah.
2-1 is much more comfortable. Yes, and can you be lighter? Right? This chord is not important. Yeah. Oh, let's not do 500 of them, right? There's only three notes there, right? So 3 notes. It's like a triplet. Mhm.
Wow.
Let's use 5-2-1 as well. These are very big intervals. Anything other than 1-2-5 is not gonna work, right? is C natural instead of E flat. Da, da, E flat. Yeah, it's only here. Can you do 5, 4, 5, 4? With a finger, right? Oh, but in order to do 5, 4, right, you need to use 1 and 2 on these two notes. Yes. So you see, it comes back to our old problem of not using our thumb, right? So when you hit this chord, you only need to do 5 and then 3 and 2. You should use 1 and 2, right? Because this is a chord, right? So we want to use our thumb on the A flat. Everybody, yes. Too loud, too loud. It's only this G flat. Yeah. Oh, only one time, right? One chord. One chord. So there was no two chords there. Good job. Good job, Kodi. Okay. All right. Well, you've learned this one, right? So put them together because they are set, right? The 60, opus 64 number 1, opus 64 number 2, right? So we've learned both now. So keep practicing them, play them as a set. And then your new listening assignment, right, this time is another waltz. So we did a whole bunch of nocturnes. Now we're doing a whole bunch of waltz. I want you to listen to opus 69 number 1.
Number 1.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's so gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful, right? So that's the new one. Okay.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Enjoy it. And happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you.
Coming up, right?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Have fun. I look forward to seeing your video. All right. Bye bye now.
Bye bye.